Oh shit, my man got some headphones. What's
He
the
just,
word?
I'm just an Amtrak away.
Game day is just an Amtrak away.
What's going on,
Yes,
everyone?
sir.
Welcome to the Devo and Chris Joe show. I'm glad to be on today because first off, we got a win, so it's always good to hop on when we get a W, especially a W like that, winning by 30 plus, and then Saturday, we got Georgetown coming to town. You know how that rivalry is. It's one of the best rivalries in college basketball, all time. Really, it's a historic rivalry. So we'll get into that and kind of talk about some of our memories between the two schools and the games that we played in. But Joe, let's talk about. I want to go back, Joe, talk about Notre Dame because I don't want to skip over that game, and then we'll talk about Oakland because I think Notre Dame it was huge just for our team's confidence, and I think individually, it
Yeah.
was huge for guys' confidence. Talking about Joe, talking about Jesse, and Judah being able to make clutch shots, when he's not playing good through the whole game, but still, coming back and making the go ahead bucket. So I think at Notre Dame, man, going in there on the road, Notre Dame just came back beating Michigan State, a really good Michigan
Yep.
State team. So to go in there, Joe, when he's not playing good personally, and to have 20 points on the road, shoot the ball like he did, make some big time clutch shots and really step up and be that veteran leader that we, you
No
know, that we,
question.
that we know he could be. And then obviously, we can get into Jesse. I think he's playing at an All-American type level. He's been averaging, I think, 15 and 16. I think we saw yesterday during the post game over this, 4 or 5 game span. So he's playing unbelievable. And then Judah, he's showing flashes. He's had 12 assists, I think 0 turnovers in the last 3 games. So his decision making is picking up. Something that we were on him in the beginning of the season about. And I think as he continues to work on his jump shot, that'll start falling and that'll add a whole nother layer to his game. And then, Justin Taylor, he's getting more minutes and Chris Bell, he's making some shots and we'll talk about some other guys. But what is your take, Joe, just on that Notre Dame game and what it did for those guys' confidence, going into Oakland and then beyond?
You hit it on the nose, Joe. Being able to overcome the slump that he was in. We had said the week before that he was, shooting poorly from the three. He wasn't scoring very much. But for him to be able to do something like he did on the road, which we know Notre Dame is not an easy place to play. They're coming off, like you said, a great win. So their confidence is up as well in a time where our confidence could have been a little bit low. You know what I mean? So for us to come in and have the, testicular fortitude to come in there and get a win is very, very impressive. Great win on the road. Again, behind our senior leaders who we've been saying that for a while. We're young, but we're going to have to rely on those guys every night. And I think that they are finally getting the message. You mentioned Judah making clutch shots, and that's the sign of a killer. You know what I mean? To not be playing well, but still have it within the mindset like I'm going to make a big play when it counts, and he was able to do that. So all together, I mean, that's our big three, so to speak. Jesse, Joe, Judah, and then the rest of the guys have to just give us what they can, contribute in certain ways, and some guys got to do the dirty work. Some guys are just going to be in the rebound, whatever it is. And then of course we got the X factor Benny. My X factor. I'm gonna stick with it. My X factor Benny, who's going to have to be able to contribute on a nightly basis. But I think that game going into this Oakland game, I mean, you could see the difference in the pace. You could see the difference in the bounce in their step defensively, offensively as well. So I think that Notre Dame game might have been the one that kind of pushes us in the right direction. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to go undefeated for the rest of the season, but we're going to be playing a better brand of basketball because now playing and beating a team like Notre Dame, we see what we're capable of. We see our potential, of what we could be. So, that was a great test for us. We did well, and I think it's only up from here.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier, Joe. I mean, it's 6'7" freshmen.
God damn,
Most
my
of
shirt
them,
wrinkly as shit.
yeah, that shit.
My shit, I might gotta go do a wardrobe change. My shit wrinkled. I need a dry fit.
Nah, you
Hold
good?
on, man.
Come on, man, throw that thing on. It's 10 a.m. We good. We just throw it on and make it happen. But we know these guys. They're young. It's going to be a lot of kinks to work through, especially with the zone, knowing the rotation. But I think one thing that has to be a constant is just that energy and effort, right? I mean, that's something that even when you don't know the rotations in the zone, you just got to stay active. You got to stay moving. You got to stay
Yep.
communicating, and that gives everybody that energy. And I think those guys are starting to pick it up. And we talked about Notre Dame, and then they carried it over into Oakland. And Joe, it's always good to have fun when you're playing basketball, and
No
when you
doubt.
could beat a team by 30, 40 points. Yeah, I think you're having fun, especially when you're almost scoring 100 points and 27 assists. They almost had 50 rebounds. They're shooting 60% from the field, and making plays. Everybody's feeling the ball, and that's what it was yesterday. Guys were touching the ball. We seen and I look. It's funny because I talked about it on the post game yesterday. The walk-ons got in, bro, with
Yeah.
4.5 minutes left, and I don't know if I ever saw that walk-ons get in with that amount of time left. Have you ever saw
Oh
that?
yeah, they could get busy. They could get busy. I think it might have happened one time my sophomore year where guys came in. It might have not been four, or it could have been like 2.5, 3, 4 is a lot of game time. You know what I
That's
mean?
a
For
lot
you
of
to be
game
out there
time,
and get
bro.
busy. You got to go out there and go crazy as a walk on. You got to go out there and just let it fly.
Yeah, my man was out there. He missed one, put it back up. He went up the same way. It didn't matter how my man was guarding him. He was just trying to go through him.
Yeah.
He was trying to get it. He's like, I ain't pump faking or nothing. I'm just going right through you. I'm
Nothing.
gonna try to throw it up. But that's
Yeah, you
how it
got
is
to.
when you don't play a lot. You get that amount of time, man. That's a life
You
changer right there
excited?
for some.
Oh yeah, no question, man. It's an exciting time for a walk on to come on there. You're gonna get, especially today, you gonna get you a picture. You're gonna get some footage of you playing. You could tell your little chick, look, I got on tonight. Anything, everything goes. You could a lot of things come from playing the game, man. So it's good to see that. And just speaking about that game, what I like, was the highlight dunk of the night, Chris Bell going in and getting the and one dunk. And that's something that we've been saying we've been missing, just getting out in transition and having the athletes to make those kind of plays. So seeing, like you said, again, the fun that they were having playing basketball, Jesse block off the backboard, sprints, gets ahead of everybody and is able to catch a oop. You know what I mean? That's great basketball right there. That's energy. That's effort. You're engaged. You see Malik Brown come in there, end the game with 12 and 6. Unselfish basketball there in the second half. Guys making extra passes, making sure everybody's involved, everybody's feeling the love. And again, that builds confidence. That builds greater team synergy.
Yeah.
So a lot of positives, man, going forward with these two last games. And you love to see it, man. You love to see it.
I want to talk about Chris Bell real quick because we know what he could do offensively. When he's making shots, we know what he can add to the team, and he's a great shooter. But he needs to be able to do more, especially being 6'7", 6'8". He's long, he's athletic, he can get out and play in transition, and he needs to use that to advantage. But he needs to be able to get in there, mix it up, and rebound the basketball. I'm not saying get
Yeah.
10 rebounds. Go in there and give me 4 or 5 rebounds. You could get 6, 7 rebounds and be aggressive, play physical. Sometimes I just see him standing out there, not really moving, using his just being 6'7", athletic. You could go up there and get it. If you could go up and dunk on a dude like that in transition,
Yeah.
you can go and get me 4 or 5 rebounds. So and I think
No
really
question.
that's why we're seeing more of Justin Taylor, because I like Chris Bell, but he's really one dimensional right now. And what Justin Taylor is bringing is he could shoot the ball, maybe not as well as Chris Bell, but it's not too far off. Like, it's not, Chris Bell is not so much of a better shooter that
Of a,
you're like,
exactly.
oh, he can't. You know what I mean? So, and Justin's coming in. He's being physical. He's rebounding. He's mixing it up. He's you're feeling his presence out there. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the top or the
Yeah.
back of the zone. And so he brings some versatility. So I mean, what's your take on on that situation, I guess, Joe. Just, the Chris Bell, and I guess, Justin Taylor.
Well, for one, we've seen Justin Taylor come out against Brian and do what he was supposed to do. That alone
Yeah.
granted him more minutes. He was ready for his opportunity. We spoke about that, being ready for when your number is called, and that's the constant work that you put in. That's the people, the good people that you have in your ear, the coaches. It could be family members just telling you stay ready, stay focused, stay locked in, because things could change at the drop of a dime. We've seen that before. So, shout out to Justin for just staying ready. And again, coming in and being able to rebound. He's about 6'5", you know what I mean? 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
He's coming in there and he's being
Good body, too.
aggressive on both ends of the floor. Good body, guile. You know what I mean? So,
Yo, hold on real quick before he goes. I don't know if anyone in the chat remembers Street Fighter. If they remember Guile, the guy in Street Fighter. What was his? He wasn't the guy who did
Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom.
He did the Sonic Boom.
he did the Sonic Boom, but that was kind of we think that's he looks like Justin Taylor a little bit. So back to what you're talking about, Joe.
Back to regular schedule programming, but he's coming in there and he's rebounding the ball, and we've heard Coach say it a number of times that we need our forwards, because he's playing the back of his own. We need him to rebound. So if he's able to put in 6, 7 points and grab those 4 rebounds that we've been missing from our forward, he's going to end up playing more, right? And as we saw last night, he played 20 plus minutes. He didn't start the game, but he was in there longer than the one who did start. So that's just that should be indicative of what coach needs you to do. And if I'm a player, I'm taking that as a message directly to me, saying, all right, look, I'm still starting. I'm not finishing the games. I'm not playing as many minutes as I was. What can I do, to stay in the game longer? What has coach been demanding of me? And make that a priority when I'm out there. Before I even think about scoring, let me go ahead and grab 3 rebounds before I even take a shot. Obviously, you're open, shoot the ball. This is just, hypothetically, not hypothetical, but like figure of speech wise. Go get 3 rebounds, then look to score a little bit, because that's what coach is asking of you for you to play more. He said it a number of times, post game, pre game, during the game, I'm sure. So at some point, as a player, you gotta take that constructive criticism, because all it is constructive criticism. It's not malicious. We're not trying to, coach is not trying to gun you down and like make you feel bad. He's saying, if you want to play more, just give me 3 or 4 rebounds. And Justin probably has been seeing that.
Hey, it gotta be the cut though. It gotta be the cut though. And shout out to Jordan.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan. On point, man. You're on point. And that's what it is. He's coming in and grabbing rebounds, and he's playing more. And being out there in the court obviously gives you more opportunity to score. Justin could shoot the ball. We see him like he mixes it up. He gets in there, getting his hands dirty. So that's what we like to see. That's what we need from our forwards.
Yeah, and look, rebounding is just like an effort thing, right? It's an energy thing, and because I damn sure wasn't the greatest rebounder ever. I was sitting, and the guards get up on the elbows, be at the free throw line area. So, I'm sitting right there waiting for that motherfucker to come to me. I lucky one time I got 8, came right to me. But just being in the right position. So,
yeah.
But rebounding is just, it's as much as it's about, energy, effort. It's about positioning, being in the right spot. Like you just can't be stuck in out of place. And not to nitpick, but that's what is happening with Chris Bell a lot. I mean, I guess the one negative from last night, Joe, and it wasn't too many. You look at the guy from Oakland. I think he ended up having, what do you have? Townsend. He had 29 and 12, and a lot of those were just from him sneaking in from that backside, where that weak side forward or strong side forward right there was just kind of got caught looking, and he'd come behind, get it. He's late. They follow him. He gets an and one. He got 4, 5, 6 of those just. Just doing that. So it's just about being active, being attentive, and being ready to play. And because Chris Bell, we've seen him, bro. He's, down in Brooklyn, he could shoot the ball. He could get out in transition and play. And that's what we want to do. Like last night, that's what I saw, that we turned defense into offense. Like we got deflections and then we got out.
That's what it has to be.
That's what it has to be. That's Syracuse basketball at its best. Because, bro, if we could do that, now we don't got to go against the half court offense. You know what I mean? It's always harder when you have a defense in front of you, obviously. So why not play fast, get ahead of the defense, get easy buckets? Now you got momentum. Now you're coming back on the other end. You're active and you're moving. That gives guys energy. A dunk like that yesterday, Chris Bell, he dunking on your head. I seen him. He stared him down,
Yeah,
looking at him,
yeah,
stepped over him.
yep,
That's going to give you some
yep.
energy throughout the game on both ends of the floor. We need to. That's Syracuse basketball, bro. You know what I mean? When
100%.
we're playing like that, I mean, you talk about your teams. When you had you and Wes and
West.
Scoop. No, now think about this, bro, and think about back to playing on that team. I mean, how many times did you really, during the games have to really stop and play in the half court? A lot. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was possessions,
Yeah.
of course, but it was a lot of this.
No, we were getting up and down. Scoop was throwing, we had so many athletes. West really was dunking everything around the basket. I did a decent job getting out there, finishing in transition. We had Rick, we had, AO running, Andy, kick threes. Everybody was running, Brandon Trish.
Space in the floor.
It was beautiful. It was easy. It was easy. You know what I mean? It was easy. And real quick, I just want to acknowledge the chat. A love child named Tom. My condolences for your loss. Saying that, Justin Taylor was his brother's name, his late brother. So, my condolences. But
condolences.
Trying to see if we could change from saying Justin Taylor to just calling him Guile. But nah. But
Yeah,
those teams,
that's not
those teams
bro.
were tough.
Sorry, bro. He's not off. It's not far off from what he looks. I mean, the haircut. It's not a bad thing. You see what Guile looks like? That's a good. That's a strong dude, man.
Again,
come on, man.
And also was also suggested that maybe every time he hits a three, it should be a sonic boom that goes off in the dome. That's
man, we need that. We need that copyright, whatever it is. We need something, man. We need a percent because it was here first on the Devo and Chris Joe show. It was here first, man.
Oh man, someone said they love how we kicked Paulie to the curb. God damn.
No, we didn't do that. We
didn't. He decided. He said, you know what? He was the training wheels, and he said it's time. Take the training wheels off, and now
he's a busy man.
And do our thing. He's busy. You know how many things he does on this platform? God damn, that boy be in there 9 to 5 with his monsters and his diet.
Man, shout out to Paulie. Shout out to Paulie. Shout out to Jordan.
Shout out to Flannel Paulie. Hey, Paulie, honestly, I'm going to get your flannel. I'm going to get your flannel.
Iced tea or iced coffee, Paulie.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, speaking going back to just talking about playing in transition, it was a couple times, where Judah last night, one particularly at the end of the first half, where he got it and he just went full court and then Euro stepped in and finished. I think he did at one moment in the second half. He did kind of the same thing. That's really what I'm talking about. We have the guys to be able to do that. We have the guys to run the wings and space the floor. Chris Bell, Justin Taylor. We have the center to be able to run down the middle and space that floor rim to rim. And Jesse Edwards. We have the guy Judah to be able to push the ball. Joe Girard, he could do the same thing, push the ball while we have Judah off the ball and vice versa. So we have, if you look at that lineup, bro. I like it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it'd be Benny would be in there, and it'd be either Justin or Chris Bell. But even with Benny, man, he's a guy who could run the floor and really get up and down. And we got the shooters to do it. I want to see that more, bro. I want to see it push the pace.
In a transition. I would love to see Benny on a fast break and see what he does with the ball. You know what I mean? I've been kind of waiting for that moment where he just gets out in transition, gets out ahead of the defense.
Had that put back dunk yesterday off the offensive board where he came. He has his moments where he could do it, bro. I just think,
no doubt.
And tell me your thoughts on this. I think for a young team that being able to get up and down, play fast, play in transition, and now the decisions obviously they got to be made. They got to be made quick in transition because it's going fast. And then when I say play fast, I want to play with that controlled pace, right? I mean, we can push the pace, but I want to be able to be in control and make good decisions. But for a young team to be able to do that and get out, have fun, space the floor, get open shots, because we got so many open looks yesterday. We just didn't. We knocked
Yeah.
down a lot of them. We could have knocked down more, but it's going to give guys the confidence to now when we do have to play in half court. All right, now it's slowed down a little bit, and I have a little bit more time to make that decision. You know what I mean? Whether it's coming off the pick and roll or coming off the catch and seeing if I could go or shoot or make a play or whatever it is. So, this team, I think if they get up and down, it's going to help them, thrive going forward, and then it'll help them eventually in the half court as well.
Yeah, they got to use that. That's got to be their strength, being able to just use their athleticism, their youth. Almost, when you, even the not knowing the college game that well, in a sense, like they should be able to just go out there and play, play quick, like you said, quick but under control, try to have fun with it. Again, we make this comparison a lot just because of the number of freshmen on this team, but going back to that freshman class with Dante, Johnny, Scoop, and whoever else was in that class where you guys were just getting up and down the floor, a lot of dunks, a lot of highlights. You had Paul do the fake pass to the dunk. Like we were just, Rick, you guys were just running up and down the court and making shit happen, making highlight plays, top 10 plays. And, seeing the ball go in, having fun, like you said, is huge because now a fast break dunks or and one dunk in transition leads to maybe like a 7, 8, 9, 10-0 run. You know what I mean? Just off of one play.
They went on 18-0 run at the end of the first half yesterday. 18-0 run. Yeah.
Yep. Now the dome is rocking. The bench is engaged. Everybody on the floor is engaged. Now you can see the communication going on. Everybody's cheering each other on. That's how it has to be played. That's how, again, like you said, that's Syracuse brand of basketball. Up and down, athletes, running, dunking, making shots in transition, blocking shit, defense lead to offense. That's what we need to do.
That's a fact, bro. And then you, when you're having fun, the communication starts to pick up. You start to see guys talking that don't even really talk like that. And I know you've been a part of that before. A motherfucker block a shot or get a cold pass for a oop or a dunk. Now a motherfucker ain't really saying shit. He opening up a little bit. It makes everything. Yeah. More fun and just better, for the whole team as a whole. So, but speaking about, block shots and dunks, let's talk about Jesse Edwards real quick, bro, and just about his, little four game streak he's been on. Really, the whole year he's been consistent. That's been a guy that, really since, even before he got hurt, last season, he was at an all ACC level, on his way to. And I'm not even gonna hold you, like on his way to like that All-American type shit. And like, because if you really look down the line and look at the centers and the production, he up there, bro. It ain't even no.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And even right now,
2 blocks, 3 blocks a game. Like, come on, he was doing what he was supposed to do.
So like right now, his 4 game. I think his 4 games, these last 4 games for him, he is like 15 points. 16 rebounds, 2-3 blocks, but shooting a high percentage from the field. I mean, he's a guy, bro, that I said it last night, and me and Brian Higgins on the post game. He's a top 2 center in the ACC. It's him and Baycott. You know what I mean? You'd probably give the nod to Baycott just because, I guess the resume, but it's going to be a war, you know what I'm saying, when they go against each other. And Jesse's, obviously it's going to get tougher for him as the teams get better at ACC. They're going to get more physical. They're going to push him away from the rim. I think Jesse's been doing a really great job of catching the ball where he can just get it and go up. And he's 7, bro. That's a tall motherfucker. Like, regardless, I know he's slim. He's 7'2" or some shit like that. Like, so he's been doing a great job of getting it, just turning. And then even, you mentioned it earlier, we saw him step out a little bit and kind of give a little jab right into the, baseline jumper.
Fake handoff into the baseline jumper. That was like, I was like, okay, now you feeling yourself, Jesse. Yes,
that's
sir.
what I'm saying.
You feeling yourself now, and he knocked it down.
And he's, bro, that's like being able to show that, like the expansion of his game and that he can play a little bit away from the basket. That's scary for guys guarding him, because we seen him turn and dip that shoulder, motherfucker, a couple of times. We don't, do we want that all the time? No, we want him to catch it as low as possible and make it easy on himself. But I mean, let's just talk about that a little bit, Joe, and about his maturation into where he is now, and him putting himself in position to he'll be a draft pick maybe.
Yeah, no question. Just knowing, I think that Griff works with him closely. We know that. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
works with the bigs, and I think him understanding his role and what will make him become a better basketball player, not only for the program but just for himself. He's really listened to instructions. He came here very raw. He had a lot of work to do, like many of the bigs that come through the program as of late. But
Right.
he really now has transitioned and transformed himself from his body, just being able to be stronger, a better base, being under control, being balanced when he catches the ball and when he's making those moves. And you mentioned it before getting hurt last year with the wrist injury. He was playing like that stretch of games. He was averaging probably like 18 and 12 or something like that
Well,
for
they
a
make the
stretch of games.
tournament. They gonna make the tournament
Oh
if
yeah,
he doesn't get hurt. We make the tournament.
you know what I mean. That's how well he was playing. So for him to see him, he started off a little slow, and I think that maybe even coach mentioned it, and we could probably see as well. He just wasn't all the way back to where he was ready to play, a full basketball game. And I think now he looks good. He looks like he's back in shape, as we saw him block a shot, beat the guards from both teams down the floor, and be able to get an alley-oop pass from Joe. So the maturation in this game has been fun to see. Especially, I think, and I truly believe that Syracuse develops players the best in the country. If you stay long enough, he's been here 4 years, and you could see that the product, the full product now is out. All the work that he's put in, the touch that he has when he turns, his hook shots, he can step out about 12, 13 feet and make that shot. We've seen him turn, fake a handoff, turn the corner, go dunk. We've seen him flashes of passing the ball, last year. We see it this year too, him being able to make plays. So him being that diverse, and being able to, like a little Swiss Army knife, he could do a couple of different things on the basketball court. But his bread and butter is he's going to change shots. He's going to rebound the basketball. And, he has to be effective down there in the paint. He was 9 for 9 last night. You can't ask for nothing more. You know what I mean? There's really not
Right.
much, we could say about his performance last night. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
In 23
and
minutes.
he allowed other guys to get some smoke. Malik Brown, Munir got in there. You know what I mean? So he did exactly what he was supposed to do. And I think that he's still not where he could be, but he's well on his way in the sense where he's getting his groove back right now. So by the time, mid-January comes around and we're in the thick of the ACC, he's going to be in top tier shape and he's going to be doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, and during that 4 game span, I think it was 15, almost 16 rebounds, a couple blocks, but his minutes per game was almost at 35 minutes per game. And as we know, Jesse early in his career, he's been falling out of games. He hasn't been able to stay on the court as much as we need him. So I think seeing that 35 minutes per game that's one of the most important numbers, that he's on the court, so he's able to make an impact both on the defensive end and now obviously seeing him turn into his better offensive player now, being around the basket, touch and stepping out a little bit. So 35 minutes a game, him being on the floor, that's a big difference right there, bro. And you mentioned
No question.
You mentioned, bro, Malik Brown. Let's talk about him real quick before we get into G-Town and the rivalry stuff. But he's a guy that, we talked about a little bit early on. He's active. He brings energy. He's versatile. He's always around the ball. He's around the rim. He has good hands.
Yeah.
And yesterday, what he had, let me see, 12 and 7, 6 for 7 for the field or something, 5 for 6 from the field. What's your take on Malik Brown and what he's really bringing to the table? The more and more time, he gets on the floor.
I think that every time that we've seen him on the floor, he's brought something positive to the team. Whether it's rebounding, block shot, he's just there. We've seen him get a steal on the top of the key earlier on in the season from a guard when they switched out on him. So, I think for him, he's ready. For his opportunities when they come. And I think that's very mature for such a young group. We talk about Justin Taylor being ready. We talk about Malik Brown. He's ready. Whenever his number is called, he's ready to come in and contribute. He's not thinking about scoring. He's going to find the ball. He's going to go get a putback. He's going to go, be in the right place at the right time to get a little shovel pass for a dunk and a finish. You know, he could run too. He's not a, he's like 6'10", 6'11". He could run the floor. We've seen him in transition, get a nice little layup, you know, in transition. So I think for him being ready for when his number is called, all those guys, when their number is called, they're ready to play. And that's the most impressive thing for me is with such a young group of guys, they're not sulking. They're not, you know, feeling sorry for themselves. Oh, fuck, man, I ain't playing. This is some bullshit. Like, I'm not feeling serious. Nah, they're sticking with it. They understand that there's a plan put in place for them. And when they go in, I think the mindset is I'm going to show coach why I should be in the game much more than I am. You know what I mean? I should be getting more opportunity. And, you know, they would make it easy on coach if they go in there and he plays however many minutes he plays and then he doesn't produce. But everybody that gets subbed in, you know, you talk about a Malik Brown, Justin Taylor, they're coming in, they're doing things positive on the court, which is making it, coaches going back to the drawing board after every game and thinking, God damn, how could I get these guys some more minutes? And we know, like we said, traditionally, 7, 8. If you're really the eighth man on the team, as far as, you know, what we've known for the past few years, decades, you're not really playing that much. We go 7 deep. That eighth man is it's kind of like a hybrid. We play a couple different places. So, you know, coach has a good problem on his hands, but I think that a kid like Malik Brown has to continuously keep getting in the gym, doing what he's doing, keep working and keep staying ready. Keep your mind sharp. Never feel sorry for yourself because those opportunities, you know, they can come at any moment and you got to be ready. You got to show coach that you are ready because we know how the program is ran. It's very professional-like. You know, no one's running after you to work out and you got to do these things on your own. You got to want to get some more shots up. You got to want to get an extra lift in outside of the team mandatory stuff. So if you continue to do those things and you just lock into what you're doing and you know why you're in school and you know what you want out of this, I mean, sometimes easier said than done for certain kids, but I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to really help this team, especially when he figures it out 100%. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, bro, and it's funny you said because, like, you know, it's mostly is only 7, maybe 8 guys playing. So these guys have an opportunity in front of him because we've seen games where he's played 11 players. You know what I mean? Usually you got guys locked. Those minutes are usually locked up. Guys are in the game. I mean, you know, you know what I'm saying? But so that's the fun thing for these guys. They get the opportunity to get out there and really show what they could do. And you're right. These guys have to continue to do that extra work, the outside of that team stuff. You know, they got that swipe going, that mellow is 24/7. So you got the time to get better and, you know, improve on things that you think you need to improve on. You know, I think one guy though, and I was, you know, I was high on him, you know, early in the season, just kind of, you know, flashes seeing him was Kadir Copeland. You know, I thought he had good height, good length. I thought he was versatile and he was, you know, could handle the ball a little bit, make plays. But yesterday, man, you know, speaking of taking advantage of your opportunity, he didn't, man. I just got to be 100% honest. He didn't take advantage of it. Just, you know, he kind of was out there, you know, playing out of control. Like his hair was on fire. You know what I mean? He was just kind of everywhere. I mean, just to be real, wasn't making the best decisions. And then I'll tell you, I seen the play where, you know, the guard just went by him for a left-hand layup in the zone all the way down, and you kind of just played Ole defense. Like I'm looking at that because I know the time that you get isn't a lot, so I'm trying to see what you're gonna do at that time. What you're gonna do in those 3 to 5 minutes, and those are the little things like where you got to play super hard. Like nobody should be able to get by you in 2-3 minutes on the floor, right? If the ball comes to you, you got to be able to go after it and, you know, rebound the ball. Offensively, you got to be able to make sound decisions. You can't go in there and just put your head down, you know, 2-3 times in a row, you know, especially if it's not working out. You know what I mean? You move the ball, get a clean look. He just looked like he was forcing it a little bit.
Be solid out there. Yeah,
be solid. Be solid. Those are the minutes that end up being more minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because you took advantage, because now coach can trust you a little bit more. Now, you know, it's going to be hard for him to get that more playing time, especially with these guys, you know, Justin and Malik playing well. They're playing better. And another guy too, that he's going to get the chance. He's going to keep getting the opportunity, but he needs to do more, bro. Just be real. And it's your X factor. Benny Williams, like he you know, we see time and time, but he has to give me more, because if he gives us more, then now we're on another level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now these guys, don't necessarily have to be rushed in. These young freshmen, talking about Justin and Malik, they could kind of, take more baby steps. Even though we like where Taylor's going, we like where Brown's going, but Benny, we see it. You just got to bring it. And Coach even said it. He's still trying to figure it out. They're still waiting for him to, I guess, take that
Yeah,
leap.
just to
What I'm saying?
unlock, yeah, and take that, like you said, take that leap, man. Because what happens is if I'm a reserve and I come on the court and I do well, what that does, it puts pressure on the starter in the sense where, and it makes coach might have a shorter, it might be, you out there fucking up, and last game I played well. Now, coach, you make one or two mistakes. He's not going to let you keep working through those mistakes because he knows he could trust me on the court. So you go ahead and sit down, and I'll come on the court and I'll play well because he knows he could trust me to be solid out there when I sub in, right? So you got to continue for the reserves. We're talking about Malik, Justin. You guys got to continue to do that. Benny, what I'm going to say is you can't make it, as much as we're all on the same team, you can't make it easy on coach, to pull you out the game for any starter. Benny's the one that we're speaking on right now, but for any starter, for anyone that starts at any level, you got to make sure that you make it hard on the coach to, you got to stay in the game. You got to make it hard on him to sub you out. You know what I mean? So, I still, like I said, Benny's still my X factor, man. I'm not going to change that. He might still, because this, at the end of the day, I'm not going to shoot him too much bail, but this is still new to him, starting, playing this many minutes after really having an up and down season last year and not really knowing like his place on the
Yeah, but I
basketball
mean,
court, feeling
it's late in the
confused.
season now, damn near. I mean,
Yeah,
not
now
late, but you know what I
it's
mean?
late. It's late. You know what it is? It's 9 games in, 10.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
like, come on, bro. You had a whole season too.
yep. Yep, you had a whole, but then like I said, that season was up and down. We seen Benny play well against Georgetown last year in the first half, not see the second half of the game. So that was a lot could be going through your head at
Yeah.
that particular time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you're
no
not
doubt,
sure
no
what's
doubt.
going on. So now I think that, of course, it's still we're 10 games, 9, 10 games in, but I think he's still you have to be a little patient with him because this is still new to him, just like a Jesse who didn't play much in the beginning. Last year, playing that many minutes was new to him. So you got to kind of let him grow into his own, and sometimes it takes a longer time for guys to get that groove. Which for Benny, I'm seeing him hit top of the key jump shots. He's hitting threes, like he's doing things slowly but surely, in my opinion. So again, I don't want to shoot him too much bail, but I will shoot him a little just to say that, it's still fairly new for him, because to be honest, and this is the best example that I could give, and it's a personal example. A sophomore year, I was coming off the bench, Big East Sixth Man of the Year. Everything is fucking good and dandy. I'm happy with my role on the team. I'm averaging 12, 11 points. I'm happy as shit. AO go down, right in the Big East. Now I got to start. Fuck, I didn't play the whole season. We're in the tournament. I got to start. I played like shit, really. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't play well, bro. Like, I didn't play well. Starting was new. I'm like, where do I go, right? You know what I mean? Things were just a little bit different. Now, mind you, it was a tough time to start because now is win or go home, but I still had to adjust to being a starter. Now, at the end of the day, the following season, as a junior when I came in, and I knew that I would be starting going in, like my whole mindset obviously shifted, but that was like a fucking whirlwind, like a shock for me to just be starting.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that he's still kind of figuring that part of it out. Again, not too much bail, just a little bit. And I think couple games, like he's gonna get there. He's gonna get there. And I'm not just saying that because he's my X factor, you know what I mean? But I really believe that he will get there in the next couple games where he's gonna figure it all out. As long as he's putting the work in, Red, GMAC, whoever it is, that he's putting the work in with, he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, no, we support Benny, but I'm gonna let you know,
Yeah,
time is
no, for
ticking.
sure. I know. I'm with you. Yeah, time, TikTok, doc. Time is
TikTok.
ticking.
TikTok. Yeah,
You know.
and man, I wanna give Joe his flowers, man. Because I think people are hard on him. We're hard on him. I'm hard on him. And it's all because we know he's capable of playing better. And at Notre Dame, last night versus Oakland, he was shooting the heck out of the ball. He made some big shots. He made some good passes. The alley oop pass to Jesse.
That shit kind of effortless too, though. When he hitting that shit like that, that shit effortless, bro.
No, he's been shooting the ball, and that's what we need him, bro. As much as we what happened right there, man? What's up? No, you gotta turn that off, that radio, fellas.
Yeah, we hearing something in the background. I don't know,
Jordan, what's going on? Oh, okay.
Wednesday morning playlist.
He must have spilled his iced coffee on the damn keyboard or some shit. No, but no, we want to Joe, man. Like he's been shooting that ball, and we talked about we need the guards, Joe, Chris Joe. We need him and Judah to play well. I think he's going to be pretty consistent throughout the year, but if we don't have Joe shooting the ball well, Judah playing well, we're not going to win many games. So Joe, keep it up, man. It's kind of like he's in a lose a lot. Because if he misses shots, they're on him. But if he makes shots, they're like, oh, you're supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Which is, that's just how the fan base is. That's just how it's going to be. But man, we keep playing well, bro. Keep doing your thing. We're rooting for you. We're going to, always give our honest opinion about it. 100. You're 100.
100. Someone asked if we think, do you guys see Bell finally rebounding, or is that a moot issue? Of course, but he has to figure it out, because rebounding is what's going to keep him out the game. If you're not rebounding, that's what's going to keep you out the game. And, it's not. And Coach said, I think this was in Brooklyn, he said that, it's fine that he could score the ball, but he has to rebound for us as well. You know what I mean? It's good to put the ball in the basket, but you got to rebound for us, because, we have, Joe to score. We have Jesse to score. Of course, we have Judah to score. Contributing on the scoreboard with, 8 to 10 points is fine. But we out rebounded. We what was it, 44 to 33 in the rebounds? Like, we rebounded well too overall. Benny has some, of course. Malik came in and rebounded, but we're going to need him to definitely rebound the ball. To be for him, not we. He needs to rebound the ball.
Yeah.
We don't need. He needs him to rebound the ball just so that he can stay out there more, because that's the only thing that I see keeping him out the game. He could shoot the ball. We obviously seen, and we've known that he was super athletic. And last night he showed that by finishing in transition the way he did. Rebounding is going to be what keeps him out the game. And Coach has been on him about it for the last two or so weeks, and we see what it is. You start, but you play 12 minutes, and then Justin is playing 20 plus minutes. We know why. You know what I mean? And Justin came in, he grabbed 4 or 5 rebounds, and that's all Coach is asking of you. And honestly, I know Justin is athletic, but who's the better athlete? I'm not 100% sure who the better. I know, but Bell could get out there and off of pure athleticism. I'm not talking about technique and boxing out perfectly. Just go jump and get the ball. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you know what, bro? It's rebounding. It's defensively. Like you're 6'7", you got a long frame. You could cause disruption in that zone just by being big and long and moving. You know what I'm saying? So and then when you're active and moving, the ball's going to start coming to you. You're going to start to see it bouncing your way because you're active and you're bringing energy. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get rebounds just off that. So that's what he has to be able to do. Be active. Know the rotations. Know where you're supposed to be. So many times he gets caught outside of that, guy cutting down the middle, or instead of coming all the way across a lot of that time and taking that middle cutter away, he's on the outside, so he gets behind him, and that's when, he's getting out rebounded, or guys are getting those little putbacks like Townsend had 4 or 5 of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like we spoke about, man. So that's gonna if he has to be active.
Film.
Yeah.
A lot of film.
And seeing him
just so he can see it.
Right, exactly. So he could see that, bro, and not just hear it, be like, "Oh man, yeah, whatever. I was there." No, motherfucker, this is, you know what I'm saying? You watch yourself stand there and look at that motherfucker. It's a big. A lot of times, I know it's times where I said some shit and then I went and saw it. I'd be like, "Oh motherfucker, god damn." You know what I'm saying? It was.
Film sessions are hilarious until it's you that's getting, cussed out, man. So I've been there before. And, shit, he's going to have to go through it. You know what I mean? You got to go you got to go through it to get through it. You know what I mean? So you got to watch the film. It's a lot of, mental work more than physical, because you got the physical attributes to go get you a rebound. It's just knowing, okay, I got to understand more of my positioning. That's all it is, especially in the zone positioning. Knowing, okay, if someone shoots from that side, more likely the ball will come off on this side of the rim if it does miss. So, just kind of anticipating a miss sometimes, and looking real quick to see if there's anyone in your area that you have to worry about getting an offensive rebound or whatever the case may be. There's techniques and little things that you could think about and see, but he'll get there. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll get there, because, again, he has the athletic ability, and that's more than half the battle right there. You know what I mean? When it comes to rebounding.
Yeah, he can. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's about going after it, just wanting to do it, and bringing that energy, bro. The last 10 minutes. Let's chop it up a little bit about Georgetown, man.
Oh yeah,
I
we
mean,
gonna chop it up about G Town. But someone was asking, I think UE,
go ahead.
someone said how much are the retro jerseys? Eric got the retro script joints. I got the retro script joints. Hit me on Twitter. What's my Twitter handle? Real Chris Joe, or you can hit me on Twitter, Coach Chris Joe, whatever it may be. Facebook, Chris Joseph, the one with the logo, and we'll get to talking. We got the jerseys. We'll keep them coming. Those are great jerseys, to be honest with you. Great script. That's the nice old school. I wish I would have played in a script jersey. But a love child named Tom. I guess I could just call you Tom, huh? That's a long username. I'm gonna just call you Tom. The jerseys are, come DM Eric, DM myself, and we'll get to discussing the jersey.
Yep.
The holidays are around the corner, so if anybody here watching wants a nice retro script jersey, holler at one of us. We'll get it to you, shipped, packaged, sealed, signed, personalized. Happy orange Christmas.
ED23 hoops.
All right.
Hit me up. Let's do it.
Let's do it. On to Georgetown, which you kind of got Georgetown colors on now, which is kind of making me mad. But
no, it ain't even like that at all. You know that.
Yeah, I already know, man. But Georgetown, rivalry week, man. That was, shit. Let me tell you. So, freshman year, we go to Georgetown. That's when fucking Kristoff gets dunked on by Dewan Summers, something crazy, right? I don't know if you remember we were playing where it was the Verizon Center. I'm like, Kristoff gets just punched on viciously. I'm like, yo, this is a crazy atmosphere. I'm not really playing as a freshman, obviously, so I'm really just locking in to see I'm looking in the crowds. I'm seeing the signs, all type of shit, like disrespectful signs about people,
all type
coach, all type of shit, type. And I'm like, yo, I can't wait till I'm actually a part of this. I'm a part of it, but I want to be on the court. You know what I mean? So going into my sophomore year, and we played Georgetown at the crib, just leading up, the whole week feels a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because we know what's at stake, and this is, like I said, we inherited this beef. This happened this was going on way before us, and it will be happening way after us. But we inherited that beef just like the rest of the crop of Syracuse kids did, and just that, going into that week of practice, the amount of focus, detail, and for me personally, I knew a lot of these guys from playing in the WCAC in DC. Right. So I'm playing against Austin Freeman, Chris Wright, all these guys in high school. So I'm like, you know what? It's personal on a Syracuse level, and I want to bust y'all ass because we've been going at it since high school. But
no doubt,
you see everything surrounding that game. The fans want to get there early. The student section come in running, trying to get a great seat. The band is playing a little extra loudly in the dome. Like, the fucking dome seems like it's shaking. Every basket seems like it's a game-winning basket, just with how the fans erupt, whether you're on the road or you're at the dome. And man, it was great, bro. And that's my take on it. I'll tell you about my greatest Cuse Georgetown moment, when you get done. What was it like for you, man? How did you see game week when it was time to play Georgetown?
Yeah, I mean, it was, whenever you played Georgetown, it was definitely a different energy, bro. You could feel it from coach, from the staff, because back then it was, we had Hot, Bernie, so they've been a part of it. Like been a part of it for a
Exactly.
while because, Hop playing in it and then being a part of it on the coaching staff, and then obviously Bernie and Coach being there forever. But it was a different energy. You could feel it from everyone. You could feel it on campus. I remember, like, even sometimes, when you go into class, you feel it from the professors. They saying stuff, good luck, this,
For sure.
just good luck. They ain't saying good luck like that on every game if you fucking playing
No doubt.
whatever. But when you play in Georgetown,
DePaul.
they like, yeah, right. Hey, good luck, man. Go beat them. Your mama's a Hoya or some
Hmm.
shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
So
yep.
it's a whole different feel on campus, and then really starts to get intense leading up to it a few days before, and then when you get into it, we've had those noon games at Georgetown and then at the Dome. A noon game is a whole different feeling too, bro. Like it might be like a CBS or like a prime time where it's
Yep. Yeah. CBS, baby.
nationwide.
Yep.
It always seemed to happen, like that against Georgetown, and then you get on the court, bro. Already know motherfuckers talking shit. It's heated. It's intense. You know what I'm saying? It's physical, and dudes is really going at it. I remember, just going at dudes, man, talking shit with dudes. Roy Hibbert, Jeff
For sure.
Green, Jonathan Wallace, Ashanti Cook. I mean, dudes, we was going at it, man, and it was like almost like I didn't know these dudes, but I didn't like you because my coach ain't like you. You know what I'm saying? So it stemmed from Boeheim and John Thompson, and then trickled down through the players because I
Yep.
felt it. You know what I mean? I ain't have no type of personal vendetta with any of these dudes, but on that floor, like, I'm at your neck, and I approach that every game like that. But this one, yo, bro, it's a
Extra.
whole different feeling. You know what I mean? It's a whole different feeling.
Extra. Think about JT3. Like, oh shit, I gotta do this for my pops. God rest the dead, man. Shout out to Big
Right.
Don. But JT3, he's like, damn, I'm going in here. I'm coaching against Jim Boeheim, who done been going to war with my pops for the past however long. Like, I wonder how he felt. You know what I mean? We might got to get him on here one day and see. But what would you say?
For
What's
real.
your Oh, by the way, they are stitched. The jerseys are stitched. CJC 0502. They're stitched. They're nice, great quality. They resemble the exact ones that my man, God rest the dead, man, Pearl Washington. Exactly, exact replica, man. So again, very nice jerseys. What would you say your best Georgetown Syracuse memory was? Maybe your top two, if you got two.
Yeah, so my top two, I'd say that my number one had to be. Well, I'll start with my number two. Number two was probably my junior year. You were a part of the game, Joe. We went into overtime. I remember coming off two screens. One, boom, hit it right on the wing. Next one, boom, hit it right on the wing. I had like 8 or something, like 5 or 7 points in overtime. And I remember we sealed the deal with, we'd come and set that screen. Everybody was up on the press. And then I just darted down. And I'm saying, like, I went to go fake the screen and then just shot down full court. And then he passed it to me,
Mm,
wide open layup. That was a good memory, man, because, I remember they had a good team. DeJuan Summers, Austin Freeman, Chris Wright. You talk about those guys.
yep,
But the
yep,
number
yep.
one was my sophomore year. I was at the point guard, bro, and I had my first double double. I think I had like 12 and 11 assists or something. And against Georgetown was top, 10 in the country. Jeff Green, Roy Hibbert,
Yeah.
Brandon Bowman. They was coming in on a 10-game winning
Oh yeah.
streak or 12-game winning streak.
Yeah.
We beat them by like 14, bro. Rushed the court. That was my sophomore year. I remember being in the middle of it. I was hot as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was 30. It was really like, yo, bro, like when they say, yeah, it's 25,000. It's nah, motherfucker. It was really 30,000 motherfuckers in there. Like that really,
Yeah.
like, that's why I'm kind of disappointed now when I see the crowd. It's like, man, it's like 14,000, 12. Yo, come on, man. Or like 17,000. No, it used to be a consistent basis. That shit was like 25,000 consistently, bro.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy to say though, bro? 17,000. There's some schools that'll be fucking dying for 10,000.
But
Yo,
I'm
bro.
looking, we
That's
looking at
just
it
to
like,
show you
damn.
that we're looking at it. We used to have 25 on average. We have 25 against goddamn. We have 21,000 against Lemoyne. You know what I mean? So no, I see what you mean, but it's crazy just the standard that Syracuse has, even from a fan base standpoint. of attendance. You know what I mean? Like when
Right.
I used to be looking forward because during the game they always tell you what the attendance is for the games. I was damn near looking forward to seeing every game. Like, damn, I wonder how many people at the game today. I would try to bet with myself, like, it's probably like 22,516 or some shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
shit was used to be crazy, bro. But yeah, Georgetown, great rivalry, and I'm sure they felt the
Yeah.
same. My
What's your
number
best
two,
memory? Yeah, your most memory. Yeah,
my
go ahead.
number two is I want to say it was my junior year. We played at Georgetown, and I remember, I went to high school in DC. I played for DC Assault, so I seen a lot of familiar faces in the crowd. Obviously cheering for Georgetown, but cheering for me personally. And just the shit talking that was going on throughout the whole game from the fans, the student section. And I remember coming out the game towards the end of the game, and I saluted to the student section, and they went crazy. You know what I mean? So that was a good feeling, just winning in DC. But my number one is obviously my senior year. We're playing at the Dome. We won in overtime. We won that game in overtime, and that's the game where I pulled out, my AK-47. You know what I mean? I hit, I think it was 6 threes or 7 threes that game. And at
Ooh.
some point after
Real
like
shooter.
I was wearing some retro 11s. You feel me? The
Oh,
Concords. I was feeling good. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Fresh white socks. Shout out to Shoro. Shoro's give me a fresh pair of Nikes or some Twin Cities.
Twin
I was feeling
City.
good. You know what I'm saying? Twin Cities. I had a fresh
Twin
white
City.
Nike dry fit on under my jersey. Like everything was fresh. For that Georgetown game, you
No.
got to come correct. I'm not wearing no
Mm-hmm.
old nothing. Everything was fresh. So, I hit a couple threes and I hit that game. And DC was at that game. So when you're playing well in front of alumni, you represent the school correctly. So they, those games, Moulton was there, Billy Owens, DC, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when these guys come out to watch, you got to put on a performance. So, that was a big game. We won in overtime. I remember there was a point guard. I don't even remember his name. And he was talking shit. He was from Philly, though, talking shit. And I said, bro, look at the score, yo. We were just going back and forth. Look at the score. Fuck out of here, you shitty. You suck. You suck. You know what I mean? We talking, we going back and forth like you ain't shit. I'm like, bro, look at how much points I got. Look how many points you got. Just little subtle shit. You know what I mean? Just going
Yeah.
back and forth on the court. Shit that people don't know what happens on the basketball court between them four lines. Like little subtle shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was great, man. I pulled out, and that was an iconic moment because they ended up putting that in like an ESPN commercial at some point. Me shooting the little,
Okay.
putting, and I'll never forget, and that's the funny little story about it. The referee was like, Chris, enough with the guns now, all right? I'm like, all right, because it was like 3 or 4 threes every time I hit it. Like my last 3 or 4 threes, every time I got one, I just was shooting everybody. Like so, the ref was like, all right, Chris,
Flamethrower.
enough with the guns already. You know what I mean? So that was dope, man. Just to be able to be a part of that rivalry. There's many schools that you can go to that have rivals. There's the Duke Carolinas, of course, and all that. We even had a little rivalry with Villanova, but there's nothing like a
UConn.
Georgetown Syracuse, UConn. Nothing like that Georgetown Cuse rivalry, though. Nothing like it. You know what I mean? Just the history behind it. There's some rivalries have been created, over like newly created. This has been going on, 30 years, 30 plus years. Syracuse,
Right.
Georgetown is never going to end. You know what I mean? And the kids will know that history because every time that Syracuse, Georgetown plays, they have all that footage going back to Coach, when he had a little bit more hair, JT with the towel over his shoulder. They're going back and they're showing the history of those games that were played. You getting the court, stormed on the court. Us, I hope they fucking put my little shooting, my flamethrower in the new, in the what's it called? Preview for the
Video,
games,
yeah.
but just showing the history of the game. Yeah, the little video. But nah, man. So it's dope. Kids will always know. You go to Syracuse and you play Georgetown, you will know, about the history of it.
Yo, yeah, you can hear the passion come out of our voices, man. And on that note, I just want to say this. We appreciate everyone tuning in because you could have been anywhere in the world. but you're here with us.
Yes,
And we
sir.
appreciate that. And we appreciate
You
that.
definitely do. You definitely do.
Real quick, man, before we get off, pack the dome this weekend, man. Try to get 25, 30K in there. Georgetown is a special game. I know they honor and Pearl and Coach Boeheim with the Ring of Honor. Let's make it happen. Pack the dome. Let's get another W, 3 in a row. You already know how we do. Devo, Chris, Joe. We gonna get at you.
Hit us up. Twitter. Jerseys is coming. We out.
You already know.